Hey everyone, it's Raz here. Today I'm going to do my first commentary video, so we will see how that goes. It will probably burn into a fire and a catastrophe, but I do want to try something different. This was kind of the intended goal of what I wanted to do with the channel was gameplay, but also some commentary about some topics of myself, whether those are current events or something in the past or just something random. So I did want to talk about rhythm games and why they are a goldmine. Music is a universal language for any of us that we can relate to and understand, no matter if you speak any other language. And especially if you walk into a grocery store, you hear one of those 2010 hip hop songs that you're walking into, or it's just a casual walk. And they kind of do that so you can buy more stuff, and that's why meat and eggs are rising in price. But some of them I'm not going to go in depth with, but there are going to be honorary mentions. So the one I do want to give an honor to an inspiration towards this is D&D, so Dance Dance Revolution. Guitar Hero, because I'm going to be talking about something else that's pretty similar to Guitar Hero. Those are a lot of games I saw when I was a kid in the arcade, so that brings the inspiration to what I like today as in rhythm games. So just to get into it, I first do want to talk about Beat Saber. Beat Saber is one of the most popular rhythm games out there right now, I would say, especially in the VR community, because that's the only thing that they use. It did just get released on PSVR 2 as of 2 days ago. On recording, they did release the Queen's pack, so that's pretty good. Love that so far. I will say it does bring a challenge with just saying directions, but also enjoying the rhythm of music. So when you're playing a game, you're genuinely enjoying it because you're playing it for the game and the music at the same time, which is what you're doing for most rhythm games anyway. But this brings the aspect of both balances of gameplay mechanics and the music choices that they have in their packs. So I would say the pros with it is that it's very popular, easy to get with your friends, having a good time. You know, if you just want to have a party night and whatnot, this would be your game. However, the con I have for this game is the price packs for this is a little bit absurd, where it ranges anywhere from $12.99 per pack to $18.99 per pack. Especially that if you're trying to play with your friends, which I'm going to get into a second about another game, but when you're trying to play for friends and you want to play a specific song for that pack and you can't play it because that one friend doesn't have it, and to be fair, it should be that as long as one person has the pack, anyone can play it. There shouldn't be an excuse to get more money out of it because that's pure capitalism right there. But other than that, with Beat Saber, the other thing I do like about it is that you can mod it. So you can mod the hand sticks on there into like swords, or you can mod with OSTs, which is original soundtracks that aren't even in Beat Saber yet. But unfortunately, it is only for PC. So for our PlayStation VR 2 boys, I am so sorry about that. Moving on. The competition I do want to talk about that is Synth Riders. Synth Riders is very similar to Beat Saber, a step below its successor. But what I will say is that Synth Riders has a really well-known community. Whereas the first week of when I was on PSVR 2 playing it, I got to meet a couple devs of the game, and they were very nice to teach me how the game works and how they operate, and that they have a weekly get together on Fridays and Saturdays. I just don't recall the time. But they have a very nice community where they welcome all types. They're also cross-platform, which is one of the very few PSVR 2 games that enable that. So you can even play with Oculus people and whatnot. The other thing I do like about that is only one person needs to buy the fucking pack. Like, I don't get what's so hard about that. One person has to buy the pack or the song or whatever you want to call it, and pretty much you guys can play it together. So I've done this with a bunch of my friends where I have 3 packs, and my other buddy has another 3 packs, and therefore we can play 6 packs together. Not only it saves the money, but also it just brings together, you know, people and friends getting together and having a good time playing songs together that they like, or they're interested to, as well as it's not financially going to make you broke. So I would say with Synth Riders, it is really good. The only thing obviously is that you can't mod it on PSVR 2 because it's a console and that's its own thing. If you had a PC, you can mod it. And what I do like about Synth Riders is that it has its own catalog of OSTs that they don't officially release, that they let their members download on the side. I believe that is correct. Don't quote me on that, but that's what I can recall from doing a bit of research. Moving on. I do also want to talk about Osu. There's not much I want to talk about it because I did see it when it came out in my high school days. which I believe was 2016. I might be wrong. But with Osu, it kind of looks like this. I don't think I want to play that anytime soon. Out of all the rhythm games out there right now, Osu has the most compatibility with original soundtracks, with just the ease of getting them off, and especially having very unique style of concepts of music on there, anywhere from indie developers to very well-known songs on there. It is a lot with keyboard and mouse. I do know there's a specific pad or an accessory that people buy to play Osu on, but it's pretty funny watching the Rage
that you had you could.
Rock Band was the first game that I got into as a kid. When I walked home from school one day, I had a neighbor who is a firefighter, and he offered me one of those drum set kits that you get for the game as well as the game itself. All I had was the PS3 back in the day, and I got to play drums in the living room. That was very fun. Pretty much very similar to the Guitar Hero, where you hit the notes and stuff. And I was a rock and roll kid back then, so I really enjoyed that aspect of playing that game. It was very much a childhood memory for me, and one of the first rhythm games I played. The last game I want to talk about is Friday Night Funkin'. Friday Night Funkin' was founded in 2020 on Newgrounds. It was a project for a competition, if I believe, that they submitted for. It was groundbreaking for its style of artwork and whatnot. So a lot of people did want more Friday Night Funkin', as their games went into like weeks, and each week had 2 songs. And I believe at the time with the free version they only had 6. So then what they did was they started a Kickstarter, which their original intention was $60,000, and that heavily exceeded the expectations of $2.2 million that they've received, with 60,000 backers. So if you think about it, the game really was, quote unquote, released 3 years ago, and then they wanted to do a full game full of animation style cutscenes. So pretty much their basic pledge was $5 or more, and if you contributed to this $5, your name would be in the credits, which doesn't take much effort, but is a lot of typing, because that is 3,500 backers that they have for that currently. Then they had a $10,000 back for 3 people that allowed you to be called by them to thank you for donating to their game for a Kickstart. Are you fucking kidding me? Would you buy $10,000 of your money to back this game up? Which, respectfully, that is what it is. You can do it with your own money, but at the same time, there is no need to give that much money to someone, especially that they already have $2.2 million, which is insane. So pretty much what they did is when they hit their backing goal of $60,000, they kept on raising the limit and kept on raising expectations. So what that meant is they kept on doing add-ons, they kept on doing promising more soundtracks, promising more weeks, and the originality I believe was 26 weeks, so that would have been 52 songs already for $60,000, and they doubled that to 52 weeks for 104 songs. I'm probably very wrong on that, but I do know that they did double their amount on it, which is absurd. And of course, they did hit that goal. And I do want to go to the downfall of how they handled it. So pretty much I am going to read a little bit of this. Last Kickstarter notice was in February 11th of 2023, so it's been about 3 months now. And all they're talking about is pretty much their Kickstarter, and then they have a new person that's pretty much doing the post now to update their backers and all that stuff. So it's not really going in depth of the game development and all that stuff, and they haven't really gotten too much in depth with their backers, which is very poorly managed by them. Especially, I'm not going to go too much in depth with it, because there is another video by another YouTuber that gets in depth about this, which I will link, where the professionality of the way that they're speaking to their backers isn't professional at all, especially if you're backing a game, whether that's $5 or $10,000. And of course, the last blog before that in February was July 6th of 2022, which is a year and a half of a gap, which is absurd. And that pretty much just talks about their merchandise and how they were trying to push for all that, because back in 2022 there was an issue with just shipments and shortages of stuff, and just trying to get merchandise sent out, especially internationally, and whatnot. And that's pretty much it. I hope I didn't disappoint anyone. This is more of a test. I want to see how this goes. Please, I'm looking for some criticism on how I'm doing. I do know I have a very monotone voice, so I do apologize on that end. I try to talk a little bit louder for it to work. But if you do enjoy it, please let me know. Leave a like and subscribe, and that's it. I'll see you guys around. Bye.